I realized something.
Yes.
There are two famous people whose first name is Gore.
Okay.
Gore Vidal and Gore Verbinski. The only two famous people whose name begins with Gore. This last name begins with V. What's up with that?
It's probably a name of a particular ethnic region, and both of these men are from that region.
Well, Gore Vidal is related to the Al Gore family.
Okay.
But I have no idea where Verbinski got it from.
What did Verbinski direct?
He directed Pirates of the Caribbean, Rango.
Okay.
You know, he's the guy who brought back the Johnny Depp-essence. Coined it.
Tona, could I have a glass of wine, please?
And can I have more wine, please?
Meow, 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 meow.
Tona, could you transform into a cat, please?
Unboxing, more like fun boxing.
That's right. This Harold Lloyd, the freshman postcard, is from Brian, who says, "Thanks, guys. That was me that sent the Strawberry Blonde and Island of Terror. I'm glad you liked them. Love the show. We like those movies."
Practically writing our show for us. This is a fine movie.
Sean Henry sends this Adlai Stevenson postcard. I know you'll appreciate that one. Favorite bio pictures? Any thoughts on whose life story or part thereof would make a good movie? How about the worst bio picture? It's kind of a patchy genre.
Well, you've asked a lot of questions there, Sean. Just pick one. Send us another. What?
Be nice.
Be nice. All right. I'm a big fan of the Dylan bio picture. I'm Not There, which Matt hates.
Oh, yeah.
But I totally get it. I totally get why everyone would hate that movie except for me.
Biopic subject. I feel like I've answered this question quite a bit because I can think of several answers I've given, but I just thought of another one. I'd love to see a biopic of Skip Spence.
Skip Spence? Define, please.
He was in the band Moby Grape.
Mm-hmm.
He went crazy, and he recorded an album called Or, which is this nutty, weird album.
O-R or O-R-E?
Or.
O-A-R.
And it's got these weird, kind of wonderful, kind of unfinished songs on it. He just lost his mind. And then shortly after he recorded this album, I think he tried to stab somebody, and they put him in a home for the rest of his life. Also, Syd Barrett. There hasn't been a Syd Barrett biopic. Kind of a similar story. Okay, so, Emil Carlson. Remember, he sent us a postcard that showed a close-up of a scared saxophone player?
Oh, yes.
And he asked what video it's from. Well, this postcard reveals the answer. There's the full still. And this is, the music video is Urgent by Foreigner.
So urgent.
What Craig thought was a black female lead singer is actually the drummer sitting in front and center of the shot. Stay tuned for another one.
Ooh. Something to look forward to. So yeah, there we go.
That's fun. Okay, this is a Hayfield, Wisconsin, on the shores of Lake Superior postcard from Declan, who says, "Thanks for the laughs and thoughts over the years. Please enjoy this classic postcard of my beautiful hometown. Scenic request, 1983, Born in Flames by Lizzie Borden. I watched it in its college class, and I love it."
It's not about Lizzie Borden, but by Lizzie Borden.
You got a postcard there from our buddy Grace.
Yes. This is from the Imperial War Museums. Talks about food. Buy it with thought. Cook it with care. Use less wheat and meat. Serve just enough. Use what is left. And join the League of National Safety. Other than number 6 about national safety, these are still good rules. A war doesn't have to be on for you to conserve food.
And don't waste it.
Don't waste it, yes.
Your freezer is your friend. You can freeze leftovers.
Hey there, basement dwellers. Spent a weekend in Birmingham, not in Alabama. Saw Cluedo on stage. I believe Cluedo is what they call the movie and the board game Clue.
Mm-hmm.
And have spent the last week in Manchester, underlined. I'm a big fan of the BBC time travel / cop drama Life on Mars from 2006. Worth watching if you have the time. Anyways, it takes place in Manchester, so I came to do some location hunting from the show and eat great food. Lots of food. On to Scotland soon. I'll try to send mail. Sturdy stacks to you all soon. Lots of love, Grace. Lots of love right back to you, Grace.
Okay, Buckeye Butterfly, Ohio, from Tyler. Craig, Matt, Tona, and Cats, I'm a big Woody Allen fan. When are you guys going to do a Woody Allen movie? Thank you.
Woody Allen.
I've seen most of them, and anything after Sweet and Lowdown, I'm not interested in.
That man should have stopped making movies at that point.
Yeah.
He should have died after that point. It would be a lot easier to talk about Woody Allen if he died after that point. I don't mean he should die.
Yes.
I'm not, and we don't know exactly everything. I don't know what to believe, but still, it's so tricky to bring him up, considering that the man had probably the best run of movies in the history of film.
Yeah.
If you look at from his very first movie, Take the Money and Run, all the way up to Sweet and Low Down, he had like 3 or 4 clunkers, and the rest are worth watching.
Yeah.
It's just astounding, and just putting out one a year.
We've got a couple of envelopes to open here. There's one for you. This is from Clint in Gateport, Mississippi. MS is Mississippi.
MS is Mississippi.
This is a card with a gnome on it. We just watched a movie with a gnome in it.
Yes.
It's a 7-colored gnome. His beard is as long as a hoe. We got a little 5-spot there
That's right.
from our buddy Clint. Enjoy the art on the card by Brian Fruit of the Dark Crystal and Labyrinth fame. Yeah, okay, there we go. Matt and Craig, huge fan here, long-time watcher, first-time writer. Thank you for years of great content. I have a couple of questions I'd love your answers on. Thanks for being amazing. I wish you guys in turn the best. I'll put these questions on our questions list, and we might answer these on a future show.
This is from, I don't know if we've ever had his name.
Her name, I think our buddy Emily signed us up for a subscription by this Vinyl Pop thing, where you get a different flexi disc every month. I don't know.
Vinyl Post. It's another flexi disc. This is from someone named Ed Mount, featuring Flore Benguigi. I don't know. And you can see the grooves if you look closely.
This is from Tim Lemire,
Oh, yes, Tim.
and this is addressed to Craig Johnson.
Oh, I'll take it.
So I don't know if this is a private letter for you or if this is something you want to read on the show. Maybe you want to open it up and check it out, and you can make that determination.
Because I talked about Clemenza's Spaghetti for 30 Men on the show, even though I accidentally called it Solazzo. Looks like he sent me a little recipe there. Now, Craig, some people will tell you that adding things like pomegranate juice or peanut butter to gravy is an infamia. I say that whatever you decide to do in the kitchen be guided by your and your family's personal taste, by trial and error, and most of all, by a spirit of fun and celebration. Words to live by. We've had a lot of good food advice on this episode. Thank you, Tim.
When you go to our website, welcometothebasementshow.com, there is an entire catalog of episodes that you can peruse. It's all there. It's so easy. And there are PayPal donation buttons that you can click on and make a one-time or rolling monthly donation to support our show. I am now going to salute a list of some of our rolling monthly donors. Bridget, Marybeth, Luke, Liam, Austin, Abigail, Mario, Zach, Michael, Alec, Larissa, Allison, Benjamin, Kevin, David, Christine, John, Mara, Aaron, Stephanie, William, Andrea, and Robert. The rest of our donors later in the show. Do you got a viewer question?
This is from Tom Rasky. What movie angered you? As in, you heard it was great from everyone and then watched it and said, are you kidding? Pickpocket. 1950s French movie by...
Bresson. The movie Pickpocket stars Craig Johnson. Take a look and judge for yourself.
No, I do not look like this
Yes,
guy.
you do.
No, I have brown hair and a nose. These are the things we have in common. The guy had seen Pick Up on South Street, and he said, that's not what a pickpocket's life is like. It's not exciting. It's really, really boring. And so I'm going to make a really, really boring movie about being a pickpocket. But it's going to be about redemption, because it's really going to be like Crime and Punishment, but as a pickpocket. And you know what you read Crime and Punishment for? You read it for the murder! He's a murderer, not a pickpocket. Oh, I have to go to jail for 3 months because I pickpocket, as opposed to I have to go to Siberia for 12 years and have actual redemption going on. So it's like the link between Crime and Punishment and Taxi Driver if you took everything interesting out of both. Also, I don't like Sullivan's Travels or MASH.
Nate writes, I portrayed Jonathan in a surprisingly sexy high school theater reproduction of this movie at my ultra-conservative private Christian high school. This movie being Pillow Talk. I tried, but was not able to live up to Tony Randall's excellently understated performances. Have you guys ever performed in something that made you keenly aware of not hitting the mark in terms of recreating another possibly famous performance? Yes, I played George Aronow in a production of Glengarry Glen Ross here in Madison. George Aronow, the Jew. That was me. I had a tough time, and this is the first time I've ever done this. I wrote out a backstory for my character. Have you done this before?
No.
Yeah, me neither. But I felt like I had to because I needed to figure certain things out about this character that would make me be able to relate to it. And I remember saying that my George Aronow was like 1/6 Jewish. He would bring out the Yiddish when he's trying to make a sale to, an old Jewish couple. He'd really play that up, and he'd also play it up if he was being persecuted, like he is with the cop when he meets with the Gestapo tactics. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I kind of justify my goyishness in approaching that character. And also I came up with sort of a complex idea of why George is such a bad salesman, yet he's successful enough to stay on this job. It's because he's got familial connections with Mitch and Murray. He came into Premier Properties during this big real estate boom where everyone was just giving away property here and there. And so he did really good right off the bat. He coasted on that bubble for a while. He coasted on that confidence for a while. And at the time of the play, he is at the very end of the road. He is going to be fired any week now. That's how I justified the fact that George is such a schmo.
I have an answer to this question, but I want to talk about Glengarry Glen Ross. I just recently rewatched Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. There's a scene towards the end of the movie. You have Timothy Spall, David Thewlis, Gary Oldman, and Alan Rickman all in one scene together. Mm-hmm. And when that movie came out, Timothy Spall made a comment about how absurd that these four very serious British actors ended up having their big scene together in the Shrieking Shack in a children's movie. And Spall said, I always wanted to work with these three, but I assumed it was going to be Glengarry Glen Ross or something. And I've been trying to figure out exactly how I would cast those four in Glengarry ever since. Spall would be the obvious Aronow choice, but really I think he'd be the better Moss.
I think Oldman would be Williamson.
The manager? Really?
Yeah, Kevin Spacey.
Oh, no, I think he'd be Ricky Roma.
I would make Thewlis Ricky Roma.
Really?
Yeah.
It's tricky, and there's no right or wrong answer.
No, there's not. Rickman is the tricky one.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you put him?
Rickman, if you do it with the Alec Baldwin extension on it,
he would be Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. We get all kinds of things in our P.O. box. We're going to open some packages a little later in the show, but right now I want to talk about the times when I get records, and I make every effort to listen to them, and I have one I want to talk about today. We have here, God Bless Tiny Tim. I listen to this. This is indescribable, and it's astonishing. This might be it, Craig. This might be the best album ever made. And I'm not joking. There's nothing like this. I've never heard music that so completely embodies the past, the present, which is 1968 when this came out, and the timeless future as this. I'm very awestruck by this, and I'm not joking. Tiny Tim. God bless Tiny Tim. It's not just a ukulele. There's a whole lot more going on here. It's produced by Richard Perry, who produced Harry Nilsson, who produced, all these great records. And so that guy knows what he's doing. And this sounds like Pet Sounds. Parts of it sounds like Sgt. Pepper. It's so funny and it's so silly, and then at times it's so serious, and at times it makes you feel like you've just fallen in love.
There are more donors. More. Neil, Adam, Nathan, Anna, Grace, Scott, Clayton, Abraham, Samuel, and Elizabeth, Anne, Jennifer, Eric, Ashton, and Wilson, Amber, Maura, Brian, Harrison, and Chad.
This is from Dylan in San Francisco, California.
Brian Myers of Linden, New Jersey.
Bundled with twine, y'all. Bundled with twine. And it's addressed to Craig.
Oh.
Dylan sends us this little card from the Immersive Van Gogh exhibit, and on it he's made a little drawing. It says, "The sun, it compels me to paint."
One of my all-time favorite lines from any movie, not just that we watch on the show, but all time.
It was from Akira Kurosawa's Dreams, and on the back he has another favorite from a movie we watched, Fritz the Cat. It's a drawing of Blues, the rabbit. "Hey, you old scrounge, you old basement dwellers, got in them garbage cans, ha ha." I'll just say that you all enriched me many more times and helped so many more people than you realize. Enriched many more lives and helped so many people than you realize. Thumb kisses all around. For Matt. Chumbawamba was more than a one-hit wonder, and their discography is more varied than one would think. Un is an essential folktronica album for the anarchist in you. Cool, I'm going to check that out.
Oh, hi, how are you?
For Craig, the less you know about Hi, How Are You, the better. Daniel Johnston was 22 years old when he was recorded. He was going through a life-altering situation.
His entire life was a life-altering situation.
Walking the cow. I'm walking the cow.
Wanted.
These are gifts from Dylan, and this is fantastic. Thank you.
Mr. Myers here sent us a stack of movies.
That is a stack of movies.
Christian Bale, Woody Harrelson, Casey Affleck, Forrest Whitaker, Willem Dafoe, Sam Shepard, Out of the Furnace. Never heard of it with that cast. Jean-Claude Van Damme in Hard Target, his take on The Most Dangerous Game.
Oh, okay.
Whale Rider, about the girl who rides the whales. Oscar winner, Traffic.
Oh.
Yeah, not a fan.
Tona shuddered. This didn't win Best Picture? What did
It was nominated. It didn't
Yeah.
win. But if you look at the font of Traffic, it looks a lot like the font of Crash, and there's a reason for that.
Ooh, dang,
I
burn.
don't like Traffic. Thank you for this DVD, but this is not. I'm not a fan of this movie.
Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
That sounds like fun.
Rad! And we have a Clint Eastwood movie, Heartbreak Ridge. It's the invasion of Grenada, is the climax of the movie.
Well, I'm glad we could finally do this. I'm glad you recovered from the COVID.
Yeah. Hi.
Go home and kick your feet up.
I will.
Good.
I kicked my feet up earlier today in a rare moment of repose in my own house.
Late at night, kids are in bed, do it again. And I will too.